All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm here along with Andrew Fillipponi for tonight's show, and we're taking your phone calls, 412-575-2600. Pony, we haven't done this show together in a long time, it seems like.
I know.
Last week you were off, then I was off. Finally. You here tomorrow?
Well, now
Muller?
No, it's Muller, but we're getting back in the swing of things. We got football season here now, so I'm not going to be taking any extravagant vacations. I don't know about you and your new fiance. You guys still, have that honeymoon stage going, so maybe there will be some huge trips planned. But
yeah, we got some trips planned, but I'm going to be here basically every Tuesday night because Bob does the Tomlin press conference, so it's going to be you and I on Tuesday. We still have to do that double date at some point, before Steelers season. I'd like to get that in because we're going to be busy.
We do, and I want to just say right now, if you'll give me just 20 seconds, Richie.
Yeah.
I'd like to extend an invitation on my show to Edmund Nelson, who for so many years did such a great job with you guys on KDKA TV with preseason games. We've got Rib Fest next week. And whenever I think about Rib Fest and whenever I think about Steelers-Panthers, I always think about Edmund Nelson. So if Edmund's out there watching right now, Edmund, we'd love to get you on the radio show this week to talk about some of your favorite Rib memories and, of course, Steelers preseason talk as well. How about that, Richie?
How could you not think about Edmund Nelson when you think about Ribfest? That's all I could. He's the first image that comes in my mind.
I know, synonymous with it. I don't think there's ever been somebody in the history of sports television who seamlessly worked in, cogent analysis of a Jonathan Dwyer 7-yard run while eating Carolina barbecue on the air. It was incredible.
Yeah, tremendous.
In between bites, he'd let you know what he thought of guys like Stephon Logan, right? Guys like that who made names for themselves in Steelers preseason games from yesteryear.
All right, so before we get to the calls, I want to get your opinion. I know I talked about this with the other guys on the show with me the last couple weeks, but do you see a big name getting cut? I mean, I thought maybe Stephon Tuitt.
Off the Steelers?
Yeah, off the Steelers.
Wait a minute, what?
Well, I'm asking, is there a big name that potentially would get cut or get released here in the next 27? Whether it's to save money to try to sign someone.
You just brought up a name that's not even on my radar. You think Tuitt might get cut?
I don't think. This is just a name I'm putting out there because I'm trying to think a veteran that potentially is making a lot of money. He hasn't really practiced much. I mean, I don't want to cut him. I like Tuitt. But I'm just trying to figure out if they're trying to put together a team and they need money, whether they need money for to sign a guy like T.J. Watt or they want to go out and get a corner or get someone else, is he a potential guy that you might put on your radar to get released? I know maybe Jordan Berry you potentially would save some money. I mean, who else is there?
Well, I still think Mason Rudolph could get cut.
You do?
And that's not going to be huge money. And Arthur Moats talked me into this today on our show. He said he had a conversation with Tomlin when he was playing that said, Arthur, when it's close between two guys, I keep the cheaper guy and I cut the more expensive guy. And we sort of saw that happen with Landry Jones a couple of years back. It was close between him and Dobbs. And so they got rid of Landry right after he had signed a new deal too, which is the same thing. It's deja vu with Mason Rudolph. And you guys at the time, a couple of years ago, went into that last preseason game thinking there was no shot that Landry Jones would get cut and Josh Dobbs would make the team. And then, lo and behold, he did. So that would just be on my radar, is that if they don't think that Mason Rudolph is ahead of Dwayne Haskins, it's not inconceivable that they would keep Haskins and Dobbs and save themselves some money to spend in other ways, like some of these guys that might get cut in the secondary or even the offensive line, Richie. I mean, Chuks Okorafor to me, very limited work in the preseason, but the reports from training camp that I've heard have not been all that endearing either. Everyone I've talked to have said that Dan Moore has looked like a better left tackle, has looked like a better offensive tackle than Chuks Okorafor in practices. And then it looked like in the game on Saturday that Okorafor struggled against a bad Lions team.
Maybe so, but he's still a younger guy and he's a higher draft pick, so I think they would keep him around for another year. Let's go out to the phone lines. We got Tom out in the north side. How you doing, Tom?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, gotcha. How you doing, Tom?
Hi, Tom.
I'm doing good. I believe exactly what he's saying. You know, Mason Rudolph hasn't done nothing, actually. And what I would do is keep Haskins, and then I would take a play out of Cowher's playbook and use Dobbs in the backfield as like he did Cordell Stewart.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. You know, Josh Dobbs really isn't even that type of quarterback. He's more of a pocket passer. I mean, yeah, he can run. He has more ability than, say, Mason Rudolph does. But I don't see them cutting Mason Rudolph. I don't. I mean, who do you think is going to get to start in his final preseason game? Rudolph or Haskins?
I think it might be Haskins and Dobbs, or I think it might just be Dobbs the entire way again. You know, I guess it's different because there's so much time in between the last preseason game and the first game, more than we've ever seen before, Richie. But I don't expect Mike Tomlin to break from tradition and play a lot of his regulars. So, you know, what else does Mason Rudolph have to show? You know, is he going to, against Carolina, you know, finally put the ball in the end zone and really move the ball downfield and not have some of these mistakes that leave you scratching your head? I mean, he threw a ball right at a Lion. Richie, he should have thrown 100 yards. He should have thrown a James Harrison pick six on Saturday. You were on the sideline. That was one of the worst decisions I've seen. Would you agree with me on that?
I agree with you. I mean, I kind of felt bad for the guy. He comes out there and the whole stadium's booing him.
Oh, see, I didn't know about that.
Usually, you know, the backup quarterback, everyone really likes the backup quarterback. It doesn't seem like he has a lot of fans here in Pittsburgh.
Now, what do you mean the whole stadium booed
Well,
him?
I mean, he was not the whole stadium, but he was there. You could hear more boos than cheers on the sidelines.
Wow.
I don't know if it came across on television, but I was just sitting there. I forget who I was standing next to. I was like, whoa. Yeah, he was getting booed.
Well, see, you know, the Steelers, in the way that they presented Mason Rudolph to their fans, are partly to blame for this, Richie. They talked about first-round grade. You know, they made it seem like, and that ticked off Ben. We remembered the comments Ben made right afterwards about, you know, did they screw up the Dobbs pick? I'll just point in the direction of the playbook. You know, he said, I went to the Steelers. I said, I don't want to retire anytime soon. And then they went and drafted Mason Rudolph. So they got off on the wrong foot. And Rudolph has, for the most part, gotten off on the wrong foot with Steelers fans, and me, frankly. He got beat out by Dobbs his rookie year and was a third-string quarterback. The next year, he lost his job to Duck Hodges. And last year, I actually thought he played pretty well against the Browns in Week 17. But in the preseason, he's reverted back to old Mason Rudolph form, where for every good play he makes, there are two bad ones. And so I just don't think he has any future with the Steelers as a starting quarterback. And I think he's a below-average number 2 quarterback.
You know, I heard this from a former veteran cornerback in the NFL, one that you might know. I mean, you would probably know, but I'm not going to give up his name. But he said that Mason Rudolph will never make it as a starting quarterback. His decision-making is way too slow, and he's easy to read.
Well, Richie, don't you think we see that in the red zone?
Yeah, we do.
I mean,
this is coming from a starting cornerback. This is not just coming from us, and this is coming from that would be lining up across from him.
Well, right. Well, you see, like, it looks like he thinks too much.
Yeah,
when
and that's
he's out
exactly
there.
what he was saying. He's too slow.
He's not an instinctual player, and for as big as he is, you know, he puts a lot of air under his deep balls, and to his credit, he's completed a lot of those in his career. He's thrown those long passes down the sideline for big plays. But you're at practice. Does he blow you away with his arm strength? When you see Rudolph throw the ball compared to Ben and compared to Dwayne Haskins, does it look the same? It's a good arm, but it doesn't blow you away, especially for a guy his size who also, by the way, can't move. He's not a scrambler.
No.
He's stuck in the pocket.
In my opinion, Ben still has more zip on the ball than Mason Rudolph does. So.
Correct.
All right, let's go out to our Tri-State Office Furniture tweet of the day, and this is from one of the Steelers' employees, Teresa Varley. Does a great job writing for the website over there.
Yes, she does.
Tweeted this. They run to the competition, not away from it. You never have to look for number 22 in competition periods. Not only does he seek reps, but he seeks the most competitive reps, and that's what you're looking for, and that's from Coach Tomlin. You know, Pony, before we go to break here, Tomlin never gives praises to rookies. He seems to be doing it with Najee and Kendrick Green after the game.
Well, and he should start praising Freiermuth because, in my opinion, 2 years from now, Pat Freiermuth will be the Steelers' best offensive player.
He might be he might be in the top 3 this year. The guy catches everything. So,
unlike Ebron.
We're going to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls and some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.